Another day and another amazing recording about another amazing book, or again, an amazing book, because we are once again going to go through How to Stay Motivated by Zig Ziglar, a book about how to stay motivated by Zig Yeah, we're going to go ahead with chapter 7, which is going to be the last chapter, and then there's going to be some sort of a summary of the whole summary, I believe. I don't know if it is enough for this episode. Maybe I am then going to talk about just some other shit, but we're just gonna start and then see what it feels like and how far we can get. Chapter 7. If you go out in life to find a friend and they'll be scarce. But if you go out to be a friend, you'll find them everywhere. Which I totally believe is true, which boils down once again to being a fucking nice person. Being a fucking nice person, being a good idea for making friends and living a good life. This is, by the way, also something that I've seen in my life. I don't know, like just being nice and being a good person feels fucking good. And it is a nice thing and it is an amazing thing. So why the fuck shouldn't I be doing it? What is the point in not doing that? It takes a whole village to raise a child. Does it? Success is what you do compared to what you're capable of doing. Laughing will get you out of the blahs. Yes, and it's probably also going to get you out of these. Well, I don't know what he just considers by blahs, B-L-A-H-S, but laughing gets you out of negativity as well. There's a lot of negativity, unfortunately, because life is good sometimes. Yeah, anyway. If you don't plan for the future, it is a pretty good indication you're not interested in it. Utilize 2 firsts. Listen to audios in your car and read while you're in line to be productive. You can't have enthusiasm, but you still need to learn your craft and gain the knowledge. Yes, in the end, it is the case. In the end, some people are going to be talented, some people are going to be whatever. But if you do not have the knowledge and the experience and the whatnot, you are not going to be that good. Humor and playfulness are characteristics of a strong family. Health, sleep, and nutrition are most important. Some things in life are absolutes, not relative. 80% of American, which totally is the case. I mean, most things are absolutes, not relative. Well, I would have said just vice versa. A lot of things are relative. Like, I do also believe that this is what Zig Ziglar meant. I believe that this is some sort of a mistake, because what I'm seeing there is, if you think and if you notice that everything is relative, then you might be unhappy relative to yesterday you being just really fucking happy. Well, yeah, could be the case, and is the case, but still, anyway. 80% of American millionaires are first generation. You could say, back in the days we've been working so hard and everything's been so difficult and whatnot. But you could also say back in the days it's been easier to come up with an idea that makes you quite a lot of money, and or not a lot of people were trying to do so, maybe. I don't know. Just assumptions. But in the end, I do have a slight feeling that they had it easier, that nowadays it is not as easy to really, it is easy. We do have different opportunities. We have way more opportunities, which is kind of the other hand or the other side of the problem. Anyway, when the opportunity comes, will you be ready? And this is the last one from chapter 7, and therefore we're going to go ahead with the main ideas or themes. Things to prioritize: health, sleep and nutrition, physical and mental. Especially mental. Do not fucking neglect that. If you're feeling bad mentally, you're probably also going to feel bad physically. If you feel bad mentally, everything is fucked. I can promise you that. I'm speaking out of experience. You can be in great physical shape, but if your mental shit isn't, or your mental game is shit, then it's not going to be good anyway. You could be a fucking bodybuilder, but if you just, or whatever, an athlete, a super duper just well-trained athlete, but if you then in the end have a bad quote-unquote mindset, I don't like the word, I've been talking about it, it's too mainstream for me, but if you just, if you're depressed, if you're whatever, if you're just, doubting yourself, if whatever is happening, then it is not going to be good in the end. You're not going to be good in the end. So yeah, please focus on your fucking mental health. Relationships, family, and friends. Yes, I would say that mental health really is somehow to some degree based on the relationships that you're having. So, which means that if you're having bad relationships, then guess how you're gonna feel? Unless you are really, really a great fucker, and there's not a lot of things that can hurt your dome, meaning your head, which by the way is a place that I want to get into, but I'm gonna talk about that later on, I guess. Hope in the future is power in the present. Success and happiness, you can get what you want in life if you help others get what they want. Self-centered people are the most miserable people. Yes, totally the case. Those who learn so that they can teach others is happier and more fulfilled. It's not what you get at the destination, it is what you become that really matters and is valuable. Yeah, indeed. I've learned so much out of things, out of situations that just not necessarily have been good for me. But going through those bad situations, going through those difficult situations is going to make you a certain person, is going to change you in a certain way, is going to, indeed make you a different person. And definitely also something to consciously think about, because we often tend to forget about that. We often tend to neglect that, or neglect to see that, well, even if it is a difficult thing, even if it is a difficult situation that we are just finding ourselves in, that it could still, really give us a lot of value, or provide us with a lot of value. Just, concerning like personal development most often, I would say. Not necessarily other things, but we really become different people by going through difficult situations. Or different people by going through difficult situations. Self-talk and attitude. Leadership and success start with self-talk. Attitude is more important than many things. Change your perspective from go-tos to get-tos. It is not what happened to you, it is how you respond and react. Failure is an event, not a person. The most important opinion you have is the one you have of yourself. Yes, you don't change people, you change yourself, and then your world begins to change. Your input determines your outlook determines your input determines your outlook, and your outlook determines your output. Your output is determining your future as well. So, which means if you're surrounding yourself with people that are fucked up, guess what is going to happen to you? I don't want to say that you're also going to get fucked up, because there's some people that do have a lot of quote-unquote discipline, for the lack of a better word. But anyway, chances are very high that because you're surrounding yourself with a certain group of people, that you're also gonna become a certain person. Most often kind of similar to them. Not the same, but similar. Discipline. When you're tough on yourself, life can be tremendously rewarding to you. Yes, fuck yourself. Really. Yesterday. Well, maybe should I? Well, maybe I'm actually going to go for a bike ride today. Maybe it's going to be a longer one. I don't know. Whatever I'm going to do. I'm having quite a lot of pressure because I do have to work today. I'm having a night shift today. It's going to be very interesting. I'm excited what's going to come there. It could be the case that we do not have to do anything. But yeah, it is Sunday, people might be drinking. I'm gonna see what things say and how things are. But yeah. Integrity. Character is the ability to carry out a resolution long after the excitement has worn out. With integrity, you have nothing to fear because you have nothing to hide. I don't have that many things to hide. Even though I just also don't talk about a lot of things, Something that I want to say, something that I quickly want to talk about before I go through the other things. I don't like lying, but when somebody asks me how I'm doing and how I'm feeling, I am to a relatively high degree lying, because I don't know, I just don't want to, to some degree it is based on me not really being willing to accept that I'm not feeling that good. But on the other hand, I do just also want to be the positive person in people's lives. But on the third hand, it is like, well, I just don't want to, quite. I don't necessarily want people to know how I'm feeling and stuff. This is not what I'm concerned of. But yeah, I just don't want to kind of talk about that. Maybe I just don't want to just make a big deal out of it. I don't know. Closing thoughts. As expected, I still really enjoy this audio series by Zig Ziglar. He is very insightful, but he's also widely captivating and entertaining in his delivery. He's what you would expect a master speaker to sound like, who has spent decades on his craft. He makes it seem so easy, it's awe-inspiring. The way the audio is broken up, there are a few different recordings in each chapter. He references a lot of the same ideas in subsequent recordings, but that was intentional. He frequently says that his audio series is something you should listen to over and over so that it has a higher chance of settling into your brain. I wholeheartedly agree with that sentiment, which is why I'm going back and listening to some books I haven't listened to in several years. Although he repeats some of his points several times in the audio, I only wrote down a point once or removed duplicates when I compiled my notes, but he does a great job hammering home the point he's trying to make. Overall, I think this is a really great book for anyone interested in success, motivation, personal development, etc. It has a strong focus on mindset, attitude, self-talk, which I think should always be the first thing to work on when you're going on a personal growth journey. Therefore, Zig Ziglar is a great starting point for anyone who feels like they have been going in the wrong direction and wants to jumpstart their life and start moving in the right direction. One takeaway, putting into practice. While many of the ideas are valuable, pretty much all of them are review for me as I come across these themes in countless other books I've read. Yes, totally the case. However, I think my one personal takeaway I want to highlight from this book is those who learn so that they can teach others is happier and more fulfilled. I do want to repeat, those who learn so that they can teach others is happier and more fulfilled. This is a huge reminder to me that as I take my YOLO Cruise book club, / book notes to the next level, as well as launch my upcoming podcast, that when I focus on learning to teach others, I'll also find happiness and fulfillment. Ultimately, I think being a teacher is one of my purposes in life. Nutshell, Zig Ziglar teaches us the qualities of success and how to stay motivated. If you want to make a significant change in your life, this is one of the best places to start. This is actually it. It is rated 4 out of 5. Try Audible for audiobooks. Please donate. Actually, amazing summary. I do really enjoyed it, also because it is relatively long, which is always something that's pretty cool. The link to this article is going to be down in the description as always, and or in the show notes if you're on the podcast, because this video, if you're on YouTube, is also available as a podcast, just to point that out. The other thing is that I've forgotten what I wanted to talk about, but there is 2 things that I, in the future, am having to learn. First of all, I have to learn from my driving license, which is a little bit of a fucked up thing because I've already started to do it and I've kind of had to just get this job because this is how the state of Walch is working. And now I've kind of lost it and I still know quite a lot of things, fortunately. But I also try to kind of learn that over a more decent period of time, I would say. The thing is, the other thing that I have to learn is for the job that I'm having at this point in time, because I am still in my quote unquote internship or whatever they're calling it. And another thing is, if I think about the things that I can do with my driving license and the things I can do with me being a medic, since this is just in the end what I'm learning, so how to deal with people that are ill, how to deal with people that are whatever, in the end, I think that there is a lot of things that I can give to other people, and when I think about that, it really does motivate me to just actually start and do things. But yeah, still, I mean, still, yes, it is a good thing to think about what you could give to other people so that you're getting more excited and motivated to do so. I mean, with a driving license, what could I do? You know, I could just drive people around, I could just get people, I could do so many things. And yeah, I also, on the other hand, I just want to do it. You know, at this point in time, it's like, it is fucked up. You know, after I had this this test for the medical thing there, I'm gonna really try to start learning to do that. And yeah, I know, because it indeed pisses me off a bit that it's taken me, way longer than it should take me. But I am in a few weeks gonna have this test, and then everything should be quite okay. And I also hope that I'm gonna take this test and gonna be successful doing so. But it's not that interesting, helping other people and being able to really do something is quite also actually a way to feel better right now. Because at this point of time, I do feel like, well, I'm sitting in the just ambulance car, or whatever you actually call it, I don't know. And I do feel like that I'm most often more of a burden for the 2 other people that I'm driving with, rather than just help. And this is something that is bothering me, and this is something that I, don't really like. And yeah, I just don't like the feeling of being quote unquote useless, or being quite a burden for other people, and or being bad. I hate being bad. I don't like that. I don't like being bad. It is an insane thing. To really be honest, it is insane. I don't like being bad. Just so much. It is insane. It really is fucking insane. But anyway, I'm gonna end the episode there. So I wish you the best health, of happiness, and all success, and also hope that you're gonna remind yourself and you're gonna be remembered, which basically means your legacy, and basically means just being a nice person and then being remembered as a nice person, which is a pretty fucking cool thing in the end. Yeah, 3 other questions that I'm gonna have you are: why are you here? What are you trying to change? And what is bothering you the most? These 3 questions are hopefully gonna show you your purpose, and maybe even a business idea, which is a pretty fucking cool thing. And yeah, one last question that I'm having you is: what could you essentially say to another person that is really indeed gonna change their life? Because I believe from the bottom of my heart that we all can say something, and we all can communicate something that is indeed gonna change how somebody's feeling. And I actually have done that quite a lot in the past few days, and I've been quite happy about that, about the fact that I've done what I'm just quite always talking about and shit. But yeah, anyway, see you the next time. Bye bye. Please stay healthy and safe, as well as your family and your loved ones. Bye bye.